mode.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a review of a figure that maybe is one of the most genius reuses of a mold ever. Now, the Fossilizers by nature are very creepy in themselves, being dinosaur skeletons. However, now you have reutilized one to make Transmutate, a character that in her own right was creepy in the one episode of Beast Wars that she showed up in. So, you have doubled down and somehow it works. I don't know why, but it does. It is kind of weird just to have her as a T-Rex skeleton, considering that in the show she didn't have an alt mode. This by itself, you know, it's rocking her traditional teal color with, instead of the silver, they've given her this kind of gold, which, okay, maybe they just wanted it to pop against the teal. I understand that. However, you can see that when her jaw is closed, she does have a massive overbite, which seems to be a characteristic of the Tyrannosaurs of the Kingdom era for some reason. See, and I'm not griping, I'm just saying that when you stick her with other dinosaur figures, which you would hope would work, it doesn't go. It's weird that a red and blue Tyrannosaurus Rex looks like it goes better with a real-world Velociraptor than this miniature T-Rex skeleton. So, I don't know, like I said, this is my first Fossilizer, and I'm not exactly sure where she'll fit in the collection, because if I stick her with other Beast Wars era characters, she's going to stick out like a sore thumb, which, to be honest, now that I think about it, maybe that's the intent. So everyone, before we move on to Transmutate's robot mode, if you can call it that, we're actually going to be taking a look at what she does probably best. Even with one like Sideswipe here, it is kind of eye-catching, not only because of the colors, but it's just kind of crazy looking. My favorite thing is, well, I like everything about it. Let's just start off with the sword, because it's kind of got this like really big axe looking thing down here near the hilt of it, and then the blade is just the tail, so like that. Probably the weirdest thing is the over-the-shoulder claws, although I like to think that, you know, he could reach in front of somebody and like hold them there while he goes after him with either the cutlass or the T-Rex head, which, let's not lie, depending on how you utilize the T-Rex head, it kind of makes him look like a few other somebodies that we already know. But then again, that's not necessarily a bad thing either. So now we look at Transmutate in her robot mode. And again, the Fossilizer DNA is there because all they really did was just swap out the head, generally. So, much like the Fossilizer that she's taken from, if you want to have them wielding this tiny little cutlass, you can. However, if you notice the tab right here, if you just go around to the back, you could literally just kind of plug it in there and keep it out of the way if you wanted to do so. Now, one thing about this is you will notice that her head, when we look at a picture of it, it's spot on for the show. Now, in the episode that she was in, she actually would open her mouth like this whenever she was going to unleash a sonic attack to, you know, basically repel everybody or whatever. In looking at this, though, we kind of see the two players in her origin story, that being Silverbolt and actually Rampage. So it is kind of interesting to see how they scale with her. And as far as that goes, it actually makes sense to have her in the collection now, because they did have like a PVC release of her, which that's fine, but I like the fact that we're able to actually have her now and have her as a Transformer as well. So overall, is Transmutate a good figure? I think she's decent. I don't think that she's amazing, because the Fossilizers in general have not been that great to me, but because this was a Beast Wars character, I mean, you really think I was going to pass up on it? So, other than that, I think whether you want to use her with the Beast side of things, or if you want to use her with the Bot side of things, hey, that's the great thing about these Fossilizers, is that they work in either direction. Maybe not as good on the Beast side, but it does kind of make up with it, that it does kind of add an interesting aesthetic with the more square boys over here. However, there's nothing really else I can say, guys, so I hope you enjoyed our look at the Generation Selects Transmutate, and until next time, guys, I'll see you in another review.
I'll fly him to be repaired.
Fly. Fly. Now, isn't that just pride?